Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And I have to take that out. Good morning, everyone. It is now, it's a little early, so we started a little earlier today. I have some things I have to do before the market opens, so I'm just going to come out, get the news to you guys. It's roughly around 8:15, so just catch the live earlier. But this is Beyond Charts. My name is Angel, and we're giving you the news and the setups possibly for today, so you can better prepare for what's going on. So anyway, there's some rumors out there that COVID, China's shutting down. There's some potential rumors that COVID might be restarting, and I've heard this before. I thought it was conspiracy theory, but anyway, coincides with where we're at with the markets. But let's just figure out to the numbers and find out where we're at this moment of time. Okay, so I'm going to start getting into the overall markets. I'm looking at the market internals. These, unfortunately, are not going to be on for me at this moment of time, but we're going to move on to something else. Let's move on to the overall markets. Now, yesterday, we always start off with the top-down analysis. And what I mean by that, we want to know where the overall S&P 500 is on the daily time frame, NASDAQ, and the Russell. And clearly, we were at a supply zone up here. I actually, if you want to see what I wrote, this yellow line that I have here moving, I actually wrote this a couple of, maybe last week, 2 weeks ago, and I said that we're probably going to hit up to that area. Unfortunately, we really didn't hit that area to a T, but let me see if I can I? No, I can't. All right, I'm just going to erase that right now, remove it, and let's create a new one. So what we did right now is we basically, we hit this here. This right here is it's a supplier really close to the 50. It looks like, the entry yesterday I gave this as far as a swing trade was when it started breaking down below this, the low of this candlestick was when it was an entry. And it looks like that would have worked out. How low do we go? In the Patreon, if you're a subscriber to the Patreon page, I do weekly updates, which is only $5 per month. And then I have a more advanced training on the everyday levels and information that I give in complete details. And that goes into about 20 daily plans a month. So you'll be better prepared for how to take action. Okay, so right there, I wrote that more likely everybody thought we were going to go up higher to fill that gap at 4,000. And what I mean by gap, this gap right up here. But what I said more likely I saw the price action probably going to pull back down and then maybe rip up, right? That is a possibility. Again, nothing is 100%, but we're all looking at probabilities. That's what I'm kind of looking at. The MACD is still going in full force, but it still can probably pull back a little bit and then maybe press higher. But the demand zone is right in here. Supply zone is on top. It is coming to a squeeze, and we'll see what happens. NASDAQ a little bit stronger. We pushed up a little higher, especially with the Russell. Let's see what happens today. But these are just the American markets, meaning we're not getting the overnight action. That's why we look at the E-minis. So E-minis action, we're going to look at the overnight, and we're going to see in the daily time frame. You can see that clearly this would have worked out a little bit less. It looks like it's probably chugging away. We have a few buyers coming in around that 38.24, but we're still above 3800. My line in the sand yesterday was 3800, meaning that I think we can still be bullish above 3800. That's pretty much what I wrote in the Patreon page. If you want access to that, again, it's there's two of them. There's one that you get the advanced training, a weekly updates. That's only $5. And if you want the levels and then we give out 20 of those, that's where I give out my line in the sands and all the goodies that come along with that. All right, and there's a link on the bio. All right, so what do we do here? So now we're going to go a little bit. It looks like we're probably just holding this level. Can we sell off? I don't know. But it looks like we're probably heading up, down, up, and then we're getting down a little bit. More than likely, we did break this trend line that lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. That happened on Friday. This was Monday. This was Monday. All right, this was Tuesday. So Monday, Tuesday, we broke yesterday. And let's see how far low do we go? Do we hit these areas right here and then higher? Or do we go to 38 and then push higher? Don't know. Tomorrow's CPI numbers, all eyes on CPI. Okay, as far as the VIX, we did see, again, fear is creeping up. Like I said yesterday, I said that these are the times that you want to buy puts because it's much cheaper. Not that I say you should buy puts, but just in theory, just because we're at the low end of fear that we have been in the last, and again, in the VIX, I do have a class that we can go over what VIX really stands for, and I'll spend more of a one-on-one time frame with you, and you can ask all these questions, and that's also on Patreon. But in the VIX, we can see here that it was on the low end and more likely puts for a much longer time frame, like more than 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We more than likely we're going to go higher because you're going to get the I vol on your side, implied volatility. Okay, the Treasury notes are coming down a little bit. That's helping here a little bit. That's great. Oil is below 100. That should help the stocks. And the dollar, I know that last time I checked the dollar was like 1-to-1 with the euro, which is not necessarily a good thing, but we'll see how that pans out. All right, let's go into the E-minis. Now, this is the E-minis, and I talked about this in class yesterday, and a lot of guys are new and they get super excited. So let me see if we can give some insight into the Asian markets. Now, the Asian markets usually open around 2200, which is right around here, 20,000, 2200. So you can see that there was a sell-off going into the Asian Open, which is fine. So ideally what I'm going to be looking for, and this is just more intraday stuff, that I want to see where the supply and demand zone is. And looking at this overall market, you can tell that and I'm going to look here. I'm going to push this and I'm going to kind of draw it out to maybe the lows of right in here. Now, nothing is perfect, but what I'm noticing here is that this area of 38.44 to 38.37. This was an area that you can see clearly that it was a supply zone, meaning that we sold off of these levels, sold off, sold off, sold off, sold off, sold off, sold off. I can probably even bring this up maybe a little bit even higher, and we can see a little bit better perspective. There we go. Yeah, I think I like that. Do like that a lot. Okay, it doesn't have to be in it. We want to make sure that we get this one here pre-market because we want to look at that one too. Right. I like it right there. I think that's good right there. So again, it's all subjective to what you feel is, and then I'm also going to draw the demand zone. And the demand zone, we can see clearly that I'm going to go with the most touches. So I'm going to go maybe right in there. Okay. And we can get a better perspective to where the overall market pre-market was. So clearly around this 38.20, we had no selling order below that. And there was no buying order above this 38.44, 38.50. As you can tell, it's still above 3800. So, but the lines, the pre-market lines are right here, and this is how I drew it. Pretty simple. And all I want to know is I did a really good presentation on how to utilize this with the market internals to give you a better, better data so you can make some better decisions. All right, at the 50 is right in the middle, which is normal. That's what we usually account for. Now, overall, as we can see right off the bat, we are noticing buyers come in at this 38.21 level. There was a double bottom here at this 38.25. So again, keep note of those levels. Now, pre-market here, the one that we're going to have to look at is this 38.44. So if we can take out 30.44, then we're more likely we're probably going to run. Don't know if that's going to happen today, right? But we're noticing this was some selling pressure all throughout the Asian markets. We're selling pressure. We are now in the same area that we were when we first opened in the Asian markets, right in here. Even though the Asian markets are closed, right now is the European markets. Where are they going to open? Where are they going to close? Is the American market going to take it above this? Then that's a possibility. Oil is below 100. That could help it. And the TLT, which is the 10-year note, is the opposite of this. TNX is going down. That means TLT is gaining a little bit of strength, okay, which is helping it. Okay, so now if we look at the E-minis, that's what I'm looking at. That's what we see. As far as on the 15-minute time frame, we do see a squeeze. What does this translate to? 38.37. If we can take out this 38.44, 45, that is going to tell me that more likely we could run maybe up to these areas, 38.64 and possibly even 38.86. All right, that is a possibility. We'll see, is it a fake out or is it going to be a breakout? We don't know. This is looking really, really strong in the MACDs. So at this pivotal moment of 38.20, this is actually telling me that this is a very strong point here in the in the E-minis, right? We got the hourlies turning right here. So this hasn't turned since yesterday, right? Since yesterday at 1800. So this is almost 24 hours. And right now it looks like, and the swing started actually on the on July 8th, right? Since July 8th, we saw this peak just kind of go down. It looks like it wants to turn, and maybe it can probably start heading up to that 50-day moving average on the hourly. So that's pretty, it's promising. It's promising. So let's see what happens here at the open. We have about 8:26 a.m. We have CPI this week. We also have some bank earnings announcement. We have UNH announcing at some moment this week as well. We got to listen to what they're saying. Now, we do know that the chips, the semiconductors, are not doing well. Just to give you a little background on that, the semiconductors, when they have a downfall, is usually about an 18-month cycle. So if they're down like 3 months into it, we probably have another 15 more months to go. But more than likely, I don't suspect that we're probably going to, this is more of a counter trend type of bear rally. So just know that, don't fall in love. If you're not good at counter trend trades, that's fine. Wait for it to go up. Wait for it to set up. And what I mean by that, let it set up on the hourlies. Let it set up on the 15-minute time frame. Let it set up on all three. And then you can take the trade accordingly to the downside. Okay. On Tesla, let's see. Overall, these markets, again, we got Tesla rallying here off the 700 level. We call that, yes, we call that in the Patreon. We got Amazon bouncing off of 110. We have a lot of squeeze plays occurring here, which is in conjunction with what we're seeing. CMG pretty far off from it. It looks like it wants to rally to the 50, but ultimately, E-minis are 38.39, 38.39. That puts me at 38.49, so really close to where we opened here yesterday. Okay, BTC, Bitcoin below 20,000. Again, there's nothing really to see here on BTC or Ethereum. It doesn't really have news on its own. It's not really has decoupled from the S&P 500. So until then, it's at the mercy of the news of the S&P 500 or the global news. So until I see something different, it's not really anything to see here. Still going down, still downtrending. Really simple supply and demand is being sold off. Is it coming to the end here? Looks like it can probably sell off. It's right in the levels that we said it was going to go. MicroStrategy at the mercy of Bitcoin. So again, it's a domino effect. As far as Pfizer, BioNTech, Myrna, and again, I'm only looking at these because these started moving recently. 174. If it can take out 188, it's probably going to run. But again, if this thing pulls back, it might be a good time to add. But this is on the daily time frame. If you look at BNTX, again, pulling back, nothing really major here to see. Let me see if I can go into my list here and go into things that I used to follow here. If we look at chips, the chips are squeezing, and let's just go down the road here. Again, this is Qualcomm. Qualcomm is selling off. We got ASML selling off, AMD, AMAT, Avgo. So all my chips are going MU. Okay, we got Roblex actually moving up a little bit. We got INTC, no good, no bueno. NVIDIA is selling off. This is a $300 stock at one time. LRCX, they make the chips. Kier squeezing a little bit. We got Keylock, these European companies. All right. Marvell. Okay. Oracle just announced that they're going to lay off a whole bunch of their workers, and that should be very positive for them. Okay. Snow, again, squeezing a little bit. TSM, Taiwan Semiconductors, selling off a little bit. And Intel. All right, so we're good there. Let's look at, just want to see real quick, where are we here? Okay, so we're looking at LRCX, Goldman Sachs selling off. The banks have to be above 300. Netflix selling off 177. Roku, NVIDIA, we talked about that. Melly, Apple stronger. Shop weaker. Wow, Shop is not going to move anymore, guys. $32. It's pretty much just done. TTD, Affirm. This was a beauty. Upstart. Hubs back. This was a $600 stock back then, 292. Zoom, Kathy Wood. Well, again, watch this one, because if there's notion of a lockdown again, then this probably should rally. Booking, selling off based on the now. Going back to being $52. Okay, so nothing really here that I'm noticing. Let's look at the FANG, or the MANG stocks, I guess I should call them. I should replace that to MANG. Again, Meta downgraded, Apple doing better, Amazon. So these are not going to move as much. Netflix 177. Netflix looks like it probably had lower. If Netflix, yeah, I could probably head lower here. If this starts breaking down, it's going to create a new swing here. So Netflix looks like it probably head lower. Google, it's much stronger. All right, guys, that's all we have. Let's back to the E-minis. E-minis right now rallying. Let's see what happens. It's going into that demand zone. So what do you think it's going to have? Supply zone on top. Let's see if it sells off, or does it continue to stay in this range. All right, guys, that's all we really have at this moment. Again, who's here? Hey, good morning. Started early here. So, all right, guys, that is all you have. I'm going to be in and out. I have to leave and go to the vet real quick to drop off my little kitty, and then I'll be back shortly open, or I should probably just build an office at the vet until he gets done. All right, guys, take care. We'll talk soon. Watch the video from the beginning, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.